Hello, my name is V-Sin, and this is a snapshot of Phantasy Star Nova. Now this game came out on November the 26th, 2014 for the PlayStation Vita in Japan. It's Phantasy Star Offline, finally. I've been at this for 10.5 hours. In fact, this is actually my third take, and I kept having to skip because the first time I messed up. The second time I tripped over a massive spoiler at the 10-hour mark. And then a whole bunch of stuff opened up, so I had to do everything else again. So this is take 3 with a whole bunch more features and a lot more time spent on menus. Lovely. I'll try to keep it as brief as possible, but here you go. We're in here. The premise is you were flying you were in a spaceship, and then you got shot down. You got trapped on this crazy ass planet of craziness with crazy ass monsters with guns strapped to their heads and all sorts of other crazy. There you go. Anyways, this is the base. When you first start out of the game, the base is pre-made for you. After that point, you actually have a crap ton of base customization features. I put this together in the span of like 15 minutes out of haste, so that's why there's this gigantic gap in the middle here. But those are all the shops over there. Basically, skill, class counter. I'll just quickly take you through here for a second. So you have 4 different classes, Hunter, melee weapons, Ranger, guns, Force, well, let's just call it magic, shall we say, for lack of a better term, and then Buster, which can use everything. That's about it. The things that these classes determine are only the stat distributions and the weapons you can use. There are skills associated to each class, passive skills that give various bonuses, but anyone can actually equip them as soon as you gain the skill. Next thing are the various different weapon skills. You can upgrade these, and upgrading them will deal more damage. Let's quickly put another point in this, because this is my bread and butter skill that is overpowered and does tons of damage. There we go. This one is for all the technics, aka your magic. These have different effects that I have not played with because I hate magic on principle. And finally, the passive skill slots. These skill slots are unlocked as you gain levels in your assorted classes. And okay, I just got this new one. Where's the other frickin'? Let's take this out for a second. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to slot these in like so. Like, hey, you pick a skill, you pick a slot, it's in the slot. What you can then do is you can then line up your skills, like so. And then what it'll do is it'll chain them together, and then this will create an extra bonus. I'm not 100% sure what this is. I think this is range defense up. This one over here is ranged offense, range damage up. If you link them together like this, then they will generate bonus skills. You can see them listed on the right side column and highlighted in yellow. By the way, I'm not going to go into too much detail. If you want more details, I have included a link to a site in the description that someone is gradually updating their information and is figuring out all the different things and configurations, a whole bunch of other crap. I'm not going to go into too much detail with that, so go to that site if you want more hard facts. This is the weapon shop. You can buy weapons here. And you can, well, you don't really buy them. You technically craft them. Craft weapon, different tiers of weapons, whole spiel of that. What you also have here is weapon accessories. What these do is these just provide some sort of bonus to your weapon. I'm just going to make one of these. I think that's a melee damage stat, whatever, it doesn't really matter too much. So you pick the stat, go back a little bit. So this is the stat. I was like, okay, this is the stat I want. Now I'm going to pick the ingredient that I want to use to create this stat. And then the last step only determines the appearance. In this case, you have 3 different appearances available. More are unlocked as you go along in the game and you upgrade the shop. I'll show you how to do that in a sec. I'm just going to make this one, whatever, I don't really care. Now, let's get out of here. Second option from the last. This is where you put the crazy shit onto your weapons. So I'm just going to trick out this sword that I've been tricking out for a while now. You see already I have those 2 parts, and you can see 2 little things sticking out the sides. You can also tell because of that, you can see it's a little bit out of place, but whatever. So let's just put another one in the 3rd slot. Let's use this one. What it does is it then puts it in space, and then you can just go ahead and line it up with some stuff and make stuff look cool. One thing that really pisses me off about the system, though, is that it doesn't really give you fine movement. Like, left stick will give you large movements. But left pad doesn't really line up nicely. Like, you kind of have to diagonal zigzag, almost. You can see how it doesn't do the same thing, but if I diagonal zigzag back, now it lines up differently. And like, I don't know why they designed it like this. It's so weird. Just put it sideways, I guess. Because everything looks cooler when put sideways. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's nice to have the design customization like this, but it's... I just find it slightly annoying that you can't line it up exactly the way you like it. So, whatever. I'll just put that part on. I'm not even going to use this weapon because I don't like using this weapon. I'm just using it as a demo for the customization. Anyways, you put the parts on, they affect stats, all sorts of crazy stuff. Let me just quickly buy all my consumables. Oh wait, no, this is the shield shop. Sorry, I screwed that up. This is the shield shop. For those of you who are familiar with Phantasy Star Online 2, that game, it's the online Phantasy Star that's been around for about 2 years now. That game has a whole bunch of different accessory slots that have a whole bunch of different appearances and do all sorts of crazy shit. That entire system has been compressed into nothing but the shield. And then this shield just carries all of the defensive stats as well as some other bonus attributes that you can affect in the same way that you can affect with crafting everything else. This is just a building that apparently gives me a buff of some sort, but whatever. This is the temporary buff station. You talk to this guy, get buffs. Here's the consumables. I'm just gonna quickly fill up my consumables. These are all crafted. You do not pay money for any of these, but you do have to find materials in order to craft these. Yeah, finally unlocked Trimates. Different consumables that do different things. This, by the way, is a ring generator. Okay, what rings do is it's specifically for use against Gigantes type enemies. What it basically does is it creates a floating platform for you to stand on. Also, this item here is the number of revives you can bring into a mission with you. Those basically will revive you. This is the appearance customization shop. Not going to go into this. Takes too long to go through. Long story short, you basically get to do recustomization on your head. I believe your body proportions stay the same as character select, and I don't think you can change race, although I could be wrong. I actually haven't taken a look at this in a while, and I don't plan on leading you through this because it would take me another 10 minutes to get through it. This is where you can buy various pieces of clothing. Let's go through this real quick. So yeah, all sorts of different clothing, different pieces of cast bodies, and clothes that you can wear, and other crazy shit. Yeah, this unlocks over time, and you can do stuff. Whatever. Over here, last one I want to go through. Alright, first two options are... The first option is buy items. The second option is reposition items. So you see here I have this cursor. As soon as I float over an object, I get to pick it up and get to... In this case, I'm going to do the first option, which lets me move it around. I'll just put it somewhere in the middle so it doesn't look quite as empty anymore. There. Haphazardly stuff it in the middle. Then you can get out of here and you can reposition everything else. First option allows you to buy various things. This, let me explore this with you. I forgot what this actually does. Oh, this is just like basically a wallpaper that you can put on the ground. That changes the way everything looks. So yay. It's just a different ground texture that you can use, which is nice. There are also the shops. You can buy different levels of shops. If I'm not mistaken, yes, I already have some of these because the game automatically gives you some of these. You can place these on the upper or lower levels, and this is the... Well, this is technically the middle level. That's what the word actually says. You also have a whole bunch of different other doodads that you can throw down. And I'm just going to throw this doodad somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Again, I'm putting everything in the middle level. There's also actually a lower level that you can also put all this stuff in. Let's just... put this here because why not? And random object of objectness. Whatever. Let me just throw that stuff around. Just quickly give you a tour of the lower level. Not too much happens down there. Oh, by the way, this is one of the removable doodads. This allows you to check cutscenes. I have a feeling that this has something to do with co-op, but because I can't interact with it, but I don't know what that says. If you know Japanese, can you tell me in the comments what this means? Because I can't read it. Sorry. Off to the lower level. After the lower level, it's a very quick tour down here, so mostly empty. That's a cemetery. That's also a spoiler. This is big ass open area. This you can also put all your shops down here as you so desire. That over there is Gigantes. You can capture certain ones. I've only captured one, and the capture process is really fucking annoying. I'll get to that later. This allows you to just choose which Gigantes is active. And you can see down here, the skill that's bouncing in the bottom right-hand corner. That is the skill that allows you to use the Gigantes. I believe this skill is specifically tied to this type of Gigantes, so whatever. And then this is the mission gate. Off we go. Let's see here. I'm probably going to avoid doing the story mission for this, so whatever. Because this is a story mission over here, I'm going to avoid doing that. Let's go into this mission. I like this mission. It's a fun mission. Let's go into here. You can pick NPC allies to join you if you so desire. These NPC allies have different levels and a bunch of other different attributes. Let's pick all the shitty ones. I'm not 100% sure what actually determines the levels, but there you have it. Levels exist. Bring the flamboyant chef with me. And the other shopkeeper. Let's go! And let's go kill stuff. Yay! But seriously, I'm so annoyed because I did a pretty good take before, and then no gigantic mid-game spoiler. Speaking of mid-game, though, I will say that apparently this game takes about 20 hours to clear on story. I might as well bring it up now. In terms of difficulty, I'm actually at the correct difficulty for this mission, and I'm just kind of wrecking this guy's life right now. Oh, that's why I'm taking damage, because when he falls on his back, he starts shooting his guns. I never noticed that before. Okay, so anyway, you can tell that I'm just wrecking his face right now, kind of cheesily. Oops. There we go. Okay. So that's one down. Like, this is the slightly boring looking way of going about things, because I just recently got this weapon after the time skip, and it's a pretty damn awesome weapon. If you want to show me having more fun, then here's this weapon instead. I customized this a little bit with a stupid looking doodad. You can see different weapon types. Since I'm using Ranger right now, the reason I'm using Ranger is mostly because I've been using Hunter in PSO2 for like 2 years. So I was like, you know what, try Ranger. And I realized, yeah, this is a pretty cheesy class. Deal with that guy. If you can see this circle that pops up every single time you attack, if you press the button with the right timing, you will do a timing attack and it'll deal extra damage. You can actually ignore the timing and just try to attack faster, but it's not in your best interest. You don't gain any more damage or anything like that. You actually lose a bit of damage. You don't even gain as much GP from attacking stuff. I keep wanting to call it PP. It's GP for Grand Points, because this is Grand Energy, not Photon Energy. Whatever. Also note, if you're comparing this to PSO2, a lot of the Grand Arts are similar, yet different from the Photon Arts. Like, they will fulfill similar roles, but the action itself and the attributes of the attack are noticeably different in many cases. I think it's more exaggerated with the melee weapons. I don't know too much about the dual pistols because I haven't used the dual pistols too much in PSO2, but like, I can definitely tell with at least the sword attacks that because I've used the swords so often in PSO2. That the sword attacks are completely different in terms of Grand Arts versus Photon Arts. Anyways, just run around killing stuff with pistols. Alright, get past that. Also, with the PSO2 comparisons, you notice that it gets code blah blah blah. Yeah, that's how a lot of this goes. You're basically supposed to do the code whatnot, and then you can continue on. And it's not quite as optional as it is in PSO2, where those are basically just dynamic events, but there you go. Stuff pops up, kill it. So here are the two Gigantes. Gigantes. This guy's mouth is his weakest point. This is why I'm doing ludicrous amounts of damage. What you can do with Gigantes, but this also applies to most other enemies, is that they do have multiple hard points on them, like this. What you can do is you can blow off the hard point. Just deal tons of damage and nuke the hard point. Just get closer. And then what you can break it off. In this case, what it does is it stuns the enemy. Some of these will, for example, disable certain attacks if you deal enough damage to them. In this case, you can see this cannon up here. That's the hard point up there. Get up there. Just quickly deal tons of damage. Okay, so got rid of his cannon, and now all that's left of his mouth. Dodge our way out of that. So nuke this guy to hell. Change over code Gigantes. Time for the giant enemy lobster. Sadly, it is not a crab, but a lobster is fine too. Anyways, when Gigantes show up, they tend to break the ground like that. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Let's get up here. You can generate these platforms with either a consumable item, or you can use the Halo weapon type. What it'll do is it'll just generate this platform that'll allow you to stand further up. And it'll allow you to hit Gigantes from further up. Eventually, if you deal enough damage or break enough parts, they'll fall over and expose their core like this. You're supposed to hit their core and deal tons of damage to giant enemy lobsters. Generate another platform. I prefer using the consumable just out of convenience, especially since I don't actually use the Halo weapon type. Chug a Dimate. Try to destroy his weapon containers. If you deal enough consecutive hits to enemies and when you get into this burst state, what the burst state does is it gives you some sort of bonus. In this case, but it's mostly supposed to be for grinding. It doesn't seem to do too much with bosses. Like, in this case, the bonus right now is supposed to be rare enemy, but well, there's no rare enemy here, right? Anyways, you can hit these containers sometimes and they're supposed to erupt and deal extra damage, but get up on this platform again, try to break more containers. There we go. Get targeted the right one. Sweet, managed to get one of the containers. Okay. Now let's not end this so quickly. Let's break the container. Because I could end this a lot faster by just beating the snot out of the boss. No, I'm not going to do that, because otherwise this fight becomes too boring, and I've actually slightly over-leveled the fight because I've done it too many times. Oh crap. Got blown off. Okay, let's just get the rifle out. There we go. Line up a shot. Start sniping this. There we go. Got rid of all the weapons on the left side. Again, I'm ignoring the weak point because I don't want to quite finish this. Those were missiles coming from the back. In my earlier strategies, what I'd do is I'd actually take care of, if I can just convince this guy to start. Let's see if I can get over there. It's really hard to get to now. You can see that. If you break these, it'll actually neuter his ability to beat the snot out of you. Like, those will actually disable the passive missiles, and it'll make them not be able to aim at you, sort of thing. I'll just get over here. There we go. Locked on. What the heck just killed me? Yeah, that's one of the other problems with Gigantes. Sometimes you'll just get insta-gibbed for no good reason. I'd say the low health alerts are also fairly weak in this game. Well, I'm pretty sure he wasn't that low on health. Right? I don't know. You, the viewer, probably know better than me in this case. Anyway, sometimes this fucker will burrow and then he'll show up again somewhere else. Oh, right. When he burrows, he regains all of his weapon cartridges. Oh, well. Oh. Missiles all missed. Go. Let's finish this off. Okay, apparently I can't destroy that. Whatever. Normally when he twitches around like that, you're not supposed to be underneath his hind legs, because being under there will actually get you wrecked. Missiles. There we go. Get these rockets to do something and probably actually do nothing. Okay, whatever, let's finish this off. Those are machine guns. Those hurt. Don't get hit by machine guns. Let's get the pile driver out. I'll just show you what the capture process looks like, because you can capture enemies. Basically, you're supposed to target points, hit the Gigantes with these pile driver attacks. You can see that spike now embedded in the enemy. In this case, I'm just going to put a couple spikes into his head. And then you activate a special skill. Blows up all the spikes. And then you can get Grand Link. This allows you to capture. What I will say, though, is that the capture process is really a pain in the ass, because you have to guess how low on HP the Gigantes is. If you succeed at this, however, then you get this, and it's awesome. At least I think it's you have to be on low HP, or maybe you just have to target the crystal. I'm not 100% sure. I've noticed, though, that if you last hit the Gigantes, you will capture it, basically. Last hit it with a special skill, you will capture it. I'm not even kidding. I wasn't expecting it to go that well. I didn't expect to capture that. So, when I tried it the first time, I just had so much trouble trying to capture the Gigantes, because like I kept blowing up the skill too soon, and then it wasn't actually killing him. I was like, ugh. Anyways, these different grades are based on clear speed, number of enemies killed, as well as how many times you did or did not die. That's it. And then it offers to save as soon as you finish the mission. Let's go into the story mission? Should we go into the story mission? Well, first of all, let me think for a second. What was the other thing that I wanted to do? Let's go into here. Normally there would be a bridge, but a story event destroyed the bridge, so whatever. Let's go into the cold sleep level. And just quickly show you what's going on here. So that's an NPC you can get quests from. Cold sleep room, there we go. So basically what you can do is you can summon different types of NPCs to help you out and help you run your base, sort of thing. Okay, so basically these options will give you 3 different races. Yeah, this is Newman. This is human, Newman, caste. You can pick the racial type you so desire. Soruja class. Basically different levels of person. You can also like pick different races. In this case, I'm just gonna summon one random caste person because why not? Oh yeah, that's a caste person. Yay. And they have the different attributes and whatnot. The whole point of doing this though is so you can put them to work in the shops. In this case, you can see that the first person, this guy's actually your partner from PSO2. There you have 3 PSO2 characters in this game as well. And what you can do is you can just find your characters, slot them into the shop slots. What this will do is it'll gradually basically give these places bonuses. Let me just summon a whole bunch of people real quick, because I just built a whole bunch of buildings. So I'm going to use this option. 3, 4, I only have this much money. Screw it. Summon 2 people. Let's just get some new NPCs real quick. Stick them into the... Put them to work. Okay, whatever. I'm not really sure what the difference is between NPCs is, sadly. But let's just put someone to work in the weapons shop. Sure, let's put you to work. That's the food shop. This is the class shop. Actually, you know what? Let's take you out. Put a caste as the leader there. And put you in here. And then just put all the PSO2 characters in the same shop, because why not? Alright, there we go. Take one person out of the food shop. I just want to see... Shoot, I forgot which one was which. All these ones have different bonus effects. I can't remember who was who, and I ran out of money to summon more people, so whatever. Ah, shoot. One more option there. Run back in. This is the least organized part of my video. This is where you can input a special code. The codes can be found from various different places. That'll give you a pre-generated character. Again, you should probably look to the description for that guy's site. He does actually have a few codes. I have not used any codes yet, but he has a few codes that you can input and gain people of various statuses and whatnot. Let's get out of here. Back to the shop, and let's see, how should I do this story? I think I'll just do the story mission. Oops. Walked too close to that. What is this again? I actually have used this maybe once in the demo. I forgot what this does. Oh, okay, this is just where you can see all the cutscenes. That's just the place you can see all the cutscenes. The gigantic thing that looks like an IMAX machine, that also lets you see cutscenes, so whatever. Now that's your item storage over there, don't really care. Alright, spoilers beware, I'm going into a story mission now. So far though, I've basically given you a grand tour of the whole place, so... There you go, story mission, level 48, I'm under-leveled, I don't really care. And just pick all the main character cast. I would just like to say something about difficulty. Have I said it before? Maybe I haven't. I'm just gonna say it anyways. Difficulty in this game is fucking easy. Like, I'm just gonna straight up say it's fucking easy. Because if you are at the same level as the mission and have, like, mission size, like, point of story appropriate gear, you will wreck everything in sight. Like, you will one-shot everything. I could not find this game vaguely difficult until I was 15 levels below recommended. Like 15 levels below the recommended level was the only point when I could finally find this game difficult. That's kind of sad. Like, it genuinely got to the point where Gigantes, I could ignore their mechanics completely. Because I did so much damage that I wouldn't even see multiple phases of a given boss. It was kind of sad. Anyways, just run around beating stuff up. Again, you can see I'm one-shotting stuff here. I'm just one-shotting everything with Grand Arts right now. And I am technically under-leveled for this. And this is a really shitty weapon that I'm using right now. And I'm just one-shotting everything. I don't know, maybe the Ranger class just has really overpowered skills or something. And again, the only reason I'm using Ranger is because I've used Hunter for 2 years in PSO2. I felt like trying something different. But it's just like, this game's really easy. This game is genuinely easy. Like, there have been some interesting Gigantes, like a giant tentacle monster. I kind of just hit it to death and then it died, and I ignored all its mechanics, and come on, guys. I know that you want it to be more accessible for people, but if simply using Grand Arts repeatedly will beat most bosses before like the 6-7 hour mark, that's kind of sad. That's really kind of sad, actually. Like, come on, man. At least make it some challenge. Like, for crying out loud, trying to fight the Rock Bear for the first time in PSO2 is so much harder than anything in this game. Like, so many of the not Gigantes bosses in this game can just be cheesed. Like, you can beat them in about 1 minute, and that's really sad. And I'm not normally someone who complains about too easy, but this is to the point where I am not experiencing any of the mechanics, and I would have to forcibly get myself several times over in order to experience these mechanics. Like, really? What is that? Oh. Well, I haven't seen one of these guys before. Maybe this will be interesting. Or maybe I'll just cheese my way past it, just like everything else. Oh, I took a crap ton of damage there. Dimate. Monoate. Go heal up real quick. Deal with the ads first. Whoa. Okay. Oh, it's one of these Darkers. Okay, I've seen a few of these in PSO2. Really annoying in PSO2, actually. But I'm pretty damn sure that they nerfed this guy pretty damn hard. Those look like orbs that will deal damage to you. I better stay away from that. Anyways, yeah, the way people normally do it is they usually just deal damage to the legs, and they'll knock them down. Or there's that weak point in there, and you can just beat the snot out of them. Like, this guy is usually a raid boss in PSO2, for fuck's sake. That was pretty easy. And I am under-leveled for this mission, by the way. By about 2 levels. Got to the point. And that's the entire quest. Yay. After this, there should be a cutscene of some description, or maybe I have to visit someone for a cutscene. That's going to be super spoilers, so heads up about that. As soon as you see the screen darken, heads up. If I had to come to a conclusion, though, would I recommend this game? Probably still. I'm still having fun. The early game is a little bit easy, but, you know.
石を落としてみたが着地する音も聞こえない。どれだけ深いか全くわからないぞ。この下にもし星があったとしてだ。そこに何があるんだ。ただの暗黒世界が広がってるだけじゃないのか。
あ、ちょっと待って。宝石が光ってる。ユノが出てくるかも。あ、出てきましたよ。あれ？なんかいつもと違うような。
足があるぞ。今まで足は見えてなかったよな。
何か意味があるんですかね。どうしたの？そんな顔をして。悲しいことでもあった？
ごめんなさい、ルティナさん。こんなはずではなかったのに。あなたたちが無事に帰れるよう力になりたかったのですが、こんなことになってしまって。
いいのよ。それより今私たちは
何か方法を考えます。あなたたちは何もせず待っていてください。
え？どういうこと？何もするなって。
さよなら。
ユノ待ってよ。どうしたんでしょうか。これまでのユノさんと様子が違いましたが。ユノの知識が一番必要な時なのに、一体何があったっていうの？
Cutscenes, they actually look pretty decent. Also compared to PSO2 Vita, the texture quality is actually decent because in PSO2 Vita they subsampled so badly that it was... I'm not normally someone who complains that heavily about texture quality, except for that other video that I don't like talking about, but either way, it's just like the texture quality is so much better in this version, so that's nice. Probably because you don't have to render an MMO.
真っ暗であの先に何かがあるとはとても思えませんでした。
より精度の高い観測を試みたところ、あの穴は極めてグラ濃度が薄いようです。あの下に星があるはずですよ。
とはいえ、どうやって降りていくつもりだ？
放火用ツールでどうにかなる距離じゃないよね。
わかりました。
相変わらず早いですね。
いえ、これは以前から構想にあった件でして。
どんなアイデアだ？
操ったギガンテスを使って行動範囲を広げるプランです。
ギガンテスに乗ってあの穴を降りるの？
確かにギガンテスの1匹や2匹軽く入れる大穴だが、飛べるや？
まさかギガンテスアルキオネ？
その通りです。アルキオネならきっと快適に。いやー、タコだけは嫌だ。大丈夫ですよ。上に乗ればただの円盤です。
やだ、戦うのだって嫌なのに。あんなの乗れないよ。乗りたくない。
Oh, by the way, you also in some of these cutscenes get a prompt. I know in previous PSO games, these would determine the ending. I've just been kind of picking these randomly, so I don't know if they actually affect anything.
あんなぐにゅぐにゅしたのに乗らなきゃいけないなんて。どうして鳥や蝶々はいないの？
説得は館長に任せるとして、アルキオネの捕獲をお願いします。効果用に少し調整を加えますので。
シャロンって意外と厳しいのな。
気の毒ですけど、頑張りましょうルティナさん。大いなる精神は静かに忍耐するですよ。乗るときは絶対目隠しする。荷物だと思って好きにして。
And then after these cutscenes, you get a quest, and then back to the base you go. Also, it'll give you your mission update. Like, yay, you did this well in the mission. after it finishes loading. And that's the grand tour. Any questions? Actually, you probably can't ask. No, if you have questions, ask me in the comments, because knowing me, I've probably forgotten to do something. Either way, let's get back to the question I got cut off for. Would I recommend this game? Yes, actually. Yes, I would. I feel that there's just a lot of replay value. I mean, in terms of story mode, people are calling 20 hours short these days. Good God. But whatever. The estimates are putting it at 20 hours. I got to what people are calling the halfway point at 10 hours. Big turning point, blah, 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 plot twist. You get the spiel. So there's that going for it, which is nice. Combat system, basically it's PSO2. Basically, I'm having fun with the game. That's about as much as I can really sum it up as. What I will say, though, is that if you were already playing PSO2, whether it's the PC version, whether it's the Vita version, you have slightly less incentive to buy this game. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the gameplay is extremely similar to PSO2. There's actually a slight difference in the melee system, but I don't feel that's really necessary to bring up. Basically, in PSO2, you spam square and then spam triangle for the right skill, and in this version, you can just pick the right skill and use it as you please. Anyways, enough of that sidetrack. Basically, it's just, in terms of the story mode, I actually find it simple enough and conveyed enough through emphatic voice acting and body gestures that I still mostly understand what's going on, even though I don't understand enough Japanese, which is kind of interesting. The menus themselves, the usual memorization, trial and error, all that good stuff that you get every single time you import a game you can't understand. Other than that, TLDR, it's Phantasy Star Offline, and it's still pretty good, so if you're up for dropping Japanese bucks on this, why not? My name is Vincent. Thanks for watching.